Shocking.
Eala and Félix stun Svitolina-Monfils' New York ERUPTS as U.S. Open crowd goes wild. The tennis power couple walked onto the court as favorites, but they walked off stunned, defeated, and utterly outplayed. In their very first match together, the young duo sent shockwaves through Flushing Meadows. And the crowd? They absolutely lost their minds. The U.S. Open mixed doubles tournament had never seen anything quite like it. On August 25, 2026, at precisely 10 a.m. local time in New York, two unlikely tandems walked onto the court at Louis Armstrong Stadium. On one side stood the married power couple, Elina Svitolina, the world know. 9 from Ukraine, and Gael Monfils, the French showman in his farewell season done. On the other side, a 21-year-old Filipina sensation and a 26-year-old Canadian star, united by their shared history at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca. The contrast couldn't have been starker. Svitolina and Monfils were tennis royalty, experienced, battle-tested, and playing together for the first time in a tournament setting, with Monfils' farewell tour adding an emotional edge to their campaign. They had received a wild card into the 16-team main draw, just like their opponents, but they entered as the favorites. But Felix Auger-Aliassime and Eala had something the power couple couldn't match. They had the Eala effect. Auger-Aliassime, ranked world number 4 in singles, had been dreaming of this moment. "It's a great opportunity because I did not play last year," he told Tennis Channel before the match. "This time around, I get to feel what it's like to have the Eala effect and fan base behind me." He laughed as he admitted the truth that everyone in the stadium could see. She has the fan base, she's carrying the crowd. And what a crowd it was. Louis Armstrong Stadium was packed with Philippine flags, a sea of red, blue, yellow, and white that transformed the New York venue into a home away from home for the Filipina superstar. The chants began before the first serve was even struck. "Let's go, Alex! Let's go, Alex!" echoed through the stands. For Svitolina and Monfils, it was an unfamiliar feeling. They were used to being the fan favorites, the crowd darlings with their charismatic energy and emotional, on-court presence. But on this day, they were the villains. The stadium was Eala's territory. And the Filipina sensation was about to prove that the Eala effect wasn't just about support, it was about results. The dream team was ready. The power couple was ready. And the stage was set for an upset that would send shockwaves through Flushing Meadows. When the first ball was struck at Louis Armstrong Stadium on August 25, 2026, the energy in the building was unlike anything the U.S. Open mixed doubles tournament had ever witnessed. The 10 a.m. start time on a Tuesday morning was usually reserved for sleepy crowds and polite applause. But not this day. Not when Eala was on the court. The Eala effect had turned a routine opening round into a full-blown celebration of Filipino pride. Thousands of fans draped in Philippine flags packed the stands, transforming the New York venue into a sea of red, blue, yellow, and white. The chants began before the first serve was even struck. "Let's go, Alex! Let's go, Alex!" echoed through the stadium. Cameras flashed from every corner. Children held up handmade signs. And at the center of it all stood Eala, the 21-year-old who had just climbed to a career-high world number 18 ranking, the highest-ranked female tennis player from Southeast Asia in history. But Eala wasn't alone. Standing beside her was Felix Auger-Aliassime, the Canadian world number 4, who had been dreaming of this moment ever since the wild card was announced. The pair shared more than just a tennis partnership. They shared a bond forged at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, where Eala had trained since she was 12 years old. "It's a great opportunity because I did not play last year," Auger-Aliassime had told reporters before the match. "This time around, I get to feel what it's like to have the Eala effect and fan base behind me." He laughed as he admitted the truth that everyone in the stadium could see. "It's kind of funny because she's younger than me, but I feel like she has the fan base and she's carrying the crowd." And what a crowd it was. On the other side of the net stood the married power couple, Elina Svitolina, the world number 9 from Ukraine, and Gael Monfils, the French showman in his farewell season. They were seasoned veterans, Grand Slam contenders, and fan favorites in their own right. But on this day, they were facing something they had never experienced before, an opponent who had turned Louis Armstrong Stadium into her personal living room. For Eala, the mixed doubles tournament was about more than just the $1 million top prize. It was about staying in a competitive mindset ahead of her singles campaign, which would begin on August 30 as a projected number 17 seed. I think what's great is playing in mixed doubles keeps you in that competitive mindset, Auger-Aliassime had explained. It's different from when you're kind of relaxed in training and you're doing appearances and sponsor stuff. It's different when you're out there on the court and someone's trying to beat you. The first round of the revamped mixed doubles tournament would be a single-day marathon, with the quarterfinals following immediately after the first round. The winner of this match would face either Aryna Sabalenka and Novak Djokovic or Leylah Fernandez and Frances Tiafoe in the quarterfinals. But for now, all that mattered was the court, the crowd, and the moment, and Alex Eala was ready to make history. The match began exactly as scheduled, 10 a.m. on Court 6 at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. But what unfolded over the next hour would be anything but routine. The favorites walked onto the court with confidence. Elina Svitolina, the world number 9 from Ukraine, and Gael Monfils, the French showman in his farewell season, were tennis royalty. They had received a wild card into the 16-team main draw just like their opponents, but they entered as the favorites. Seasoned veterans with Grand Slam pedigrees and the emotional edge of Monfils' farewell tour. But they had never faced anything like the Eala effect. From the very first point, the energy was electric. Louis Armstrong Stadium, where the match was played, transformed into a sea of Philippine flags. Chants of "Let's go, Alex!" echoed through the stands. Every winner Eala and Auger-Aliassime struck was met with thunderous applause. Every error by Svitolina or Monfils was celebrated like a victory in itself. And then it happened. The upset that shook Flushing Meadows. The dynamic duo of Eala and Auger-Aliassime played with the kind of freedom that only comes when you have nothing to lose and everything to prove. Auger-Aliassime, the world number 4 in singles, brought the power and precision that has made him one of the most feared players on the ATP Tour. But it was Eala who truly stole the show. The Eala effect is real, the commentators noted, as the Filipinas' sharp volleys and quick reflexes kept the power couple on their heels. For Svitolina and Monfils, the pressure was overwhelming. They were supposed to win. They were the established stars, the married couple making their official doubles debut. But the crowd was against them, the momentum was against them, and the young duo across the net was playing the match of their lives. The upset was complete when the final point was won. The crowd erupted, a deafening roar that could be heard across the entire USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. Fans jumped to their feet, waving flags and screaming with joy. The Eala effect had done it again. It was an amazing experience, Auger-Aliassime said afterward. The energy from the crowd, it was like playing at home. Eala, ever humble, just smiled. She had just pulled off one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. And the New York crowd had witnessed history in the making. The victory wasn't just another check mark on the scoreboard. It was a statement, a declaration that Alex Eala and Felix Auger-Aliassime were not just crowd favorites, but genuine contenders. Let's put this upset into perspective. Standing across the net were Elina Svitolina, the world number 9 from Ukraine, and Gael Monfils, the French showman in his farewell season. They were seasoned veterans, Grand Slam contenders, and a married couple making their official doubles debut at one of the biggest tournaments in the world. The mixed doubles event featured a star-studded field that included Carlos Alcaraz with Serena Williams, Novak Djokovic with Aryna Sabalenka, and Alexander Zverev with Taylor Townsend. This wasn't a charity event, this was serious tennis. But Eala and Auger-Aliassime played like they belonged in that elite company. Auger-Aliassime, the world know. 4 in singles brought the power and precision that has made him one of the most feared players on the ATP Tour. He had been dreaming of this moment ever since the wild card was announced, admitting he was excited to feel what it's like to have the Eala effect and a fan base behind me. The Canadian star called the experience kinda funny because she's younger than me, but I feel like she has the fan base and she's carrying the crowd. The victory meant something different to each of them. For Auger-Aliassime, it was validation. Proof that playing mixed doubles isn't just a distraction from singles, but a valuable competitive tool. It's different from when you're kind of relaxed in training and you're doing appearances and sponsor stuff, he had explained. It's different when you're out there on the court and someone's trying to beat you. For Eala, the win was an extension of everything she had been building. At just 21 years old, she had climbed to a career-high number 18 in the WTA rankings, the highest-ranked female tennis player from Southeast Asia in history. Her second consecutive U.S. Open main draw appearance represented a milestone that would have been unthinkable just 2 years ago. And with World No. 15 Victoria Mboko withdrawing due to injury, Eala was now projected to move up to the number 17 seed in the women's singles draw, her highest Grand Slam seeding ever. The victory also sent a message to the rest of the mixed doubles field. Standing between Eala and Auger-Aliassime and the semifinals were the World No. 1 Aryna Sabalenka and 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic, the heavy favorites in the star-studded field. But after what they just accomplished against Svitolina-Monfils, anything seemed possible. The first round of the revamped mixed doubles tournament was a single-day marathon, with the quarterfinals following immediately after the opening round. The winner of this match would advance to face either Sabalenka Djokovic or Leylah Fernandez and Frances Tiafoe. The draw was daunting. But after this upset, Eala and Auger-Aliassime had something even more valuable than a favorable draw: momentum. And that momentum was about to be tested in the biggest way possible. And just like that, the upset was complete. The cameras had captured every moment. The roar of the crowd, the stunned expressions on Svitolina-Monfils' faces, and the pure joy radiating from Eala and Félix Auger-Aliassime as they celebrated their victory at Louis Armstrong Stadium. But the journey was far from over. With the win, Eala and Auger-Aliassime advanced to the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Mixed Doubles tournament. And standing in their way? None other than the tournament's top seeds. World number 1 Aryna Sabalenka and 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic, who were set to face the winner of the other opening round match. The draw couldn't have been more daunting. Sabalenka, a former doubles no. One with 2 Grand Slam women's doubles titles, and Djokovic, one of the greatest singles players in history, represented the absolute peak of tennis achievement. In the other first-round match, Leylah Fernandez and Frances Tiafoe had also received a wild card, and the winner would face Sabalenka Djokovic. For Eala, the mixed doubles tournament represented something far more significant than just another match. It was a chance to stay in a competitive mindset ahead of her singles campaign, which was set to begin on August 30 or 31 as a projected number 17 seed, her highest Grand Slam seeding ever. The exhibition match against Iva Jovic on August 28, which was still to come, would provide additional court time against a tough opponent. It's different from when you're kind of relaxed in training and you're doing appearances and sponsor stuff, Auger-Aliassime had explained before the tournament. It's different when you're out there on the court and someone's trying to beat you. The Canadian star ranked World No. 4 in singles had been one of the biggest beneficiaries of the Eala effect. His own words before the tournament painted a picture of someone who understood exactly what he was getting into. She has the fan base and she's carrying the crowd, he had laughed.
It's going to be interesting.
And interesting it was. The first round and quarterfinals of the mixed doubles tournament took place on the same day, August 25, making it a marathon for every team involved. The semifinals and final would follow on August 26, with the championship match taking place on Arthur Ashe Stadium in prime time. The stakes were enormous. A $1 million jackpot awaited the champions of the revamped mixed doubles event, a sum that would be life-changing for any player. But for Eala, the prize money was secondary. The real reward was the experience, the exposure, and the chance to prove that the Eala effect translated into victories. And that's exactly what she had just done. The upset over Svitolina-Monfils was a statement, a declaration that Eala and Auger-Aliassime were not just crowd favorites, but genuine contenders in a field of legends. They had beaten a married power couple who had won 45 WTA and ATP titles between them. They had silenced critics who doubted whether the Eala effect could translate to actual results. And they had given 110 million Filipinos a reason to celebrate. But the victory also raised an inevitable question. What comes next? The quarterfinal against Sabalenka Djokovic, or whoever emerged from the other match, would be the ultimate test. Can the 21-year-old Filipina and her 26-year-old Canadian partner overcome the most decorated duo in the tournament? Can the Eala effect carry them past the top seeds in the competition? The answer remains to be written. But one thing is certain, the road ahead for Alex Eala is filled with opportunities, challenges, and millions of Filipinos cheering her every step of the way. I wouldn't be having these experiences if I didn't do all the work that I did beforehand, she had said in Cincinnati. So I know that I won't continue to experience it if I don't continue that work. From a 12-year-old girl chasing Rafael Nadal through the Madrid airport to a world no. 18 stunning the tennis world at the US Open, the journey has been nothing short of extraordinary, and the best chapters are still ahead. New York is ready, the crowd is ready, and Alex Eala is just getting started.